who has a son that is currently fighting in Gaza right now.
So, just some good news. This is the last speech. Am I right about that? I will try to make it worth it, seriously. We are in the midst of a civilizational war. On one side is the state of Israel, the Jewish people, that is slowly but surely on the way to becoming a beacon of light unto the nations. Israel has transformed swampland into orchards, has transformed desert into golden, glistening fields of wheat. Israel produces agricultural technology that is exported across the world, feeding hungry people. Israel has invented medical devices that is saving lives across the world. Israel has created a society that's not perfect. There are flaws. But it is a model for true diversity. Dare I say, a model for John Lennon's Brotherhood of Man. My son's commando unit. Americans, Australians, Ethiopians, Yemenites, Iraqis, and they all love each other. We pay lip service to equality and equity here in the Western world. Israel lives equality. On the other side of this war is the Amalekite nation of Iran. Iran, whose previous name was Persia, changed the name to Iran in 1935, affirming their Aryan heritage, affirming their desire to collaborate with the Nazis, with the Aryans in Germany. That's what Iran is. They are the modern day Amalek. Make no mistake about it. And in a cowardly fashion, befitting Amalek, for those of you who know the story, they don't attack Israel directly. They use proxies because they are cowards. And they know that they cannot fight the Jewish state directly. So they use Hezbollah to the north, Hamas to the south. Let's talk about the Palestinians. Unlike the Israelis who turned the desert into paradise, who turned adversity into a thriving society, the Palestinians received the most advanced greenhouses in the world. They could have used those greenhouses to feed their people. Do you know what they did with them? Burnt them to the ground. The Palestinians received billions in international aid so that they can create a thriving society, so that they can bring happiness to their own people. Do you know what they did with the billions? They created weapons not to defend themselves, to kill Jews in Israel. When Israel shipped pipes and helped them install pipes underground, you know what they did with the pipes? They could have used the pipes to have water for their people. Oh, the poor Palestinians have no water. Oh my gosh. You took those pipes and you used them to make rockets to attack the Jewish state. Israel has some of the best universities in the world. The educational system in Gaza, and I'm talking about little children, nursery, kindergarten, elementary school, high school. It is a stain on humanity. They teach their children a barbaric form of anti-Semitism that would make members of the Third Reich blush. But Israel is not alone. People the world over saw the barbarism. People the world over, I've seen Democrats, Republicans, newscasters on different types of media, literally breaking into tears on live TV, because there are many people. These are human beings that have Tselem Elohim, the image of God, beating warmly within. And if you have the image of God beating warmly within, when you see what happened to those poor Jews in Eretz Yisrael, you become shattered. It's unbearable. It's unfathomable. And the Palestinians, the Amalekites, they're not alone. Neo-Nazis, let's call them what they are, all over the world. Why are they demonstrating, by the way? I thought that it was the Jews that got killed by the Palestinians the very next day. Demonstration. So what are they demonstrating for? Think about that. Do you know what they're demonstrating for? They're demonstrating because they want to normalize pogroms against Jews. They're saying, how dare you object to this? That's what they're demonstrating for. They want to do more pogroms. It makes them happy because this is not humanity. These are barbarians. They do not have Tselem Elohim. Let's face the truth. That's the truth. In the same way, Israel has many supporters across the world. The Amalekim have many supporters across the world. These shameful institutions of higher learning, NYU Bar Association, Harvard University, Columbia University's president, who in a cowardly and morally bankrupt stance refuses to speak out against against the Palestinians who are harassing Jewish students on his campus. He won't speak up because he supports them. Let's be honest. The Chicago division of Black Lives Matter, shame on them. They stand against racism. Cowards. But I'm a rabbi. And I want to look at this from a theological perspective. And please, I just want to say that I appreciate how many people decided to stay till the very end. It's really very moving. It's very touching. It's because I know this is all about love of the Jewish people, love of Eretz Yisrael, love of humanity, hate of barbarism. So really, thank you so much for that. Over 3,000 years ago, our ancestors stood at the foothills of Mount Sinai and entered into a binding covenant with the Almighty. Under this covenant, we agreed to accept the Torah, to study the Torah, to fulfill its precepts. But there is a lesser known aspect to the Berit, and it is as follows. God told us, I want you to be a Mamleket Kohanim. Do you know what Mamleket Kohanim means? You will be my priests unto the nations of the world. God told us, I want you to behave in a special way, to serve as a role model for the rest of humanity. So when they see how we respect our parents, when they see how we give charity to the poor, and it's not charity to the poor that's, it's a nice thing to do. Every Jew is obligated to give tzedakah. Every single one. This is who we are. So that when they see how we educate our children, not just in knowledge of the humanities and science, but we educate our children to be good people. So that when they see that we take off one day a week, not to watch football, not to work, not to pursue the physical realm, we take one day a week to be with our families, to reconnect with ourselves, to reconnect with God Almighty. We are the role model for humanity. And this is at the heart of the civilizational war. Because the Chachamim say, Sinai, Har Sinai, Mount Sinai, what word does it conjure up? Those of you who speak Hebrew, Sinai, Sin'ah. Chachamim say, the reason Har Sinai was called Mount Sinai because in Hebrew you have the word Sin'ah. Sin'ah means hatred. Because when the Jewish people received the Torah, many goyim started to hate us. And you know why they started to hate us? Do you know why? Did they hate us because we crucified their God? No. Jews never used crucifixion. In fact, we hardly ever executed anyone. The Romans, they're the ones who use crucifixion all the time. Do they hate us because we use the blood of children for matzah on Pesach? No, it's a violation of Torah law. Right there, black on white, it's forbidden for us to consume blood. They consume blood. Pagan society, pagan rituals, they consumed blood. Do they hate us because we have a cabal that controls the world, as they said in World War II? Some cabal, 6 million Jews brutally killed. Wow. Some cabal. Do they hate us because we ethnically cleanse the Palestinians? Actually and factually, the opposite is true. Every Palestinian was removed from Gaza in 2005. Wait, did I just say every Palestinian? Excuse me, that was a mistake. Every Jew was removed from Gaza in 2005. Every single Jew. You talk about ethnic cleansing? That's ethnic cleansing. Gaza is Judenrein. The Nazis would be proud of what the Palestinians did. Go to any city in the West Bank, Ramallah, a Jew, go there with the yarmulke. Go to Jenin with the yarmulke. Go to Tulkarem with the yarmulke. See what happens, God forbid, God forbid. And while we're talking about ethnic cleansing, let's talk about ethnic cleansing of the Jews in Europe. And this is like literally like 1% and not even. Vienna, France, 1253, by order of the Pope. Upper Bavaria, Jews expelled, 1276. Naples, Jews expelled, 1288. England, the British, you know, they have that nice accent, a British accent. They're intellectuals, not like us people from Brooklyn. 1290, Jews were expelled, 1290. Do you know when they were let back into England? 1655, Oliver Cromwell let the Jews back in. 365 years. Judenrein, England. Today on the London Tube, they had an announcer talking about how free Palestine, literally on their subway. Unbelievable. What a bunch of hypocrites. What a bunch of Jew haters. Hungary, 1316, births west on 1392, Castilla, Spain, my ancestors expelled from Spain, 1492, etc., etc., etc. So here's the truth. They don't hate us because we're bad. They hate us because we aspire to a better and higher truth. They hate us because we are a light to the nations, because we show them how good people should act. That's why they hate us. But they're going to fail. They already have. They already have failed. Because now in Israel, there is a transformation of society. People that were at each other's throats, people that were fighting about just nothing, just bickering. They're all unified. They all love each other. Over 100 restaurants, over 100 non-kosher restaurants in Tel Aviv have hechshered their utensils. They're all kosher. You want to know why they became kosher? Because they want to give food to our soldiers. That's the love. That's the love of the Jewish people. A lady calls up a rabbi. I never lit Shabbat candles in my life. Please, can you give me Shabbat candles? Literally this Friday. They sent somebody to her a few hours before Shabbat. She calls the rabbi again. She said, I don't know what to do with these. Can you send somebody? She never saw the light of the Shabbat candles. People for the first time in their lives are seeing the light of Shabbat. This is what the Hamas attacks did to us. It made us stronger, more unified, more religious. closer to the Almighty God. And I want to end with the following prophecy. There was a lot of bad prophecies that just took place a few weeks ago. I mean, literally things are just, like you're looking at the verses in the Torah, I said, that can't be literal. It can't really mean that. And but it happened. Here's a verse in the Torah, and I'm going to end with this. The Pasuk says, Kumi Ori, rise up Israel and shine. Kiva Orech, for your light has arrived. Uchvod Adonai alayk zara, and the glory of Hashem is shining upon you. And it's talking about today. It's talking about us sitting in this room. It's talking about Jews the world over. It's talking about Eretz Yisrael. And do you know how I know that? Do you know how I know it's talking about today? Because the very next verse, there will be a point in humanity when darkness will cover the nations. And all of human civilization will be in a dark shroud of fog. That's today. And when that happens, God's light will shine upon the Jewish people. That we merit to see the glory of God upon us soon in our days. Amen. Can you hear us?